Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu. Asị m ka ụbọchị nketa mara na anyị mma. Anyị sị na ọ ya dịrị anyị ncha niile na mma. Ọ ya dịrị n'Igbo na mma. Ọ ya dịrị na Biafra na mma. Ihe anyị chọrọ na ọ ya eweta ya. Ihe bụ udo. Ihe bụ obi aṅụrị chọrọ n'ụwa na-abụrụ ihe ọjọọ. Anyị ncha na ya eweta ya. N'otu n'otu. Otu anyị kwuru otu aka ya dịrịrị. Ise. 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 Dịka o si dị ugbu a. Anyị ga-eje ka anyị gosi unu ya bụ ife anyị were n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nketa a. Unu n'anya onye unu afụ n'iru akwụkwọ bụ Maazị San Mike Ezekome Chief, bụ onye na-anọchibu anya Maazị Nnamdi Kanu n'ụlọ nke ọkaikpe. O nwere ife okwu n'iru akwụkwọ a ewetara m ya attention nsị mba na mma etinyere unu ya bụ ihe maka na ọ bụ nkwa anyị kwere unu ga na-enye unu update kwa mgbe n'iru akwụkwọ pasta maka ihe na-eme. Amara ka ị ga ya bụ ife ahụ gasị n'iru akwụkwọ, achọghị ịbịa kwuo ya na achọghị m ịbịa kpọ okwu afa. Ị ga-esi anyị drọpụrụ anyị kọmentị gị na the comment below pasta maka ife iche n'ihe ndị a niile okwu gasị n'iru akwụkwọ. Alright, over to you, sir.
Now by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who's joining us, Mike Ozekome. Thank you so much for joining us on News Night. Right. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Well, the fundamental question that's been asked now is, has the Apex Court started the journey to redemption for the judiciary?
Happy New Year.
Based on this.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Yes.
I refuse to comment on television in the last 9 months because I was involved in many of the election petitions. I did not want to comment on any case that may be sub judice. So deliberately, very decisively, I left commentaries on television. Now, Mike Ozekome is back.
Are they causing confusion?
Excited to see that you're back, and we love the smile. It's a good smile for us for the new year. But let's start off by, talking about some of your key concerns. You have said that the appeal court didn't quite do well in the run of play to people seeking justice in the last elections.
Yes, I said so, and I want to maintain it. I'll be one of those who feel that many judgments should not go to the Supreme Court for obvious reasons. The docket of the Supreme Court is overcrowded. The justices are overwhelmed. For example, today, there were 8 justices sitting. And of the 8 justices, at least 6 of them sat in all the appeals. For God's sake, they are human beings like us. These are family members. These are fathers, grandfathers. These are brothers. These are sisters. These are mothers. And they seem to have devoted the whole of their life since the pre-election petition started in September 2022 up to now to nothing but serving the nation. So the important point I made here, which I want to reiterate, is that it may be, we may have to look at it again, whether some of these election petitions should actually end at the Court of Appeal level. I was one of those who felt that, yes, the Supreme Court should not be bothered with too many of these, that House of Assembly, House of Reps, and Senate could end at the Court of Appeal level. But from what we have seen, particularly in the Plateau scenario, there was great miscarriage of justice. The Supreme Court today spared no words. They used legal and judicial koboko to flog the Court of Appeal for what they termed miscarriage of justice, perverse judgments. In many of the cases, particularly in the Plateau State, 2 senators' positions were reversed, 3 House of Representatives were reversed, about 11 House of Assembly were reversed. If all these cases have gone to the Supreme Court, all of them will have their seats retained. On what ground were they reversed? The Court of Appeal surprisingly was talking about saying PDP had no structures in Plateau State. When the PDP structures, membership of a political party of the PDP, nomination, congresses, primaries, when did they become part and parcel of matters that the court can have jurisdiction. Today, the Supreme Court said not even the election tribunal had jurisdiction, let alone the Court of Appeal, and they voided the decision on the governorship. They would also have voided the decision on the 2 senatorial candidates, the 3 House of Reps, and the 11 House of Assemblies. Injustice has been done to them. What is the remedy now? That is why I'm going to now review my stance with all respect, humility, as a constitutional lawyer, of saying that, yes, these cases should go to the Supreme Court as the final court of the land. We saw grave injustice today, and my heart has been bleeding. People voted for by the electorate were removed by the Court of Appeal, which had no jurisdiction over the matter. I am sad about it, and I don't think it should ever happen again at all.
Right.
Today,
guys,
I watched the Supreme Court carefully. Yeah, the Supreme Court has some challenges of recent. Some of them had to do with the Imo State governorship election matters, the Hope Uzodinma case, and then the Machina case in Borno, concerning Ahmed Lawan. Some of them were grave challenges. But today, the Supreme Court came out smoking as not just a court of law, a court of justice, and a court of equity, but as also as a public policy making court, by showing the way forward, by telling the people that we are not here to carry out what Ozekpedia, which are formulated and modeled after Wikipedia, calls judocracy, that it is now the judiciary that delivers governors, senators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members, and even president. Today, I got up after the Supreme Court judgment in the Cross River State governorship election, which by the grace of God, I won. To praise the Supreme Court.
If I may comment at this point very quickly.
Doing what the people...
Yeah, Professor Ozekome, just allow me to butt in here.
Yes,
Since
sorry.
You described the action...
I you again. I'm
yes.
sorry. I wasn't hearing you.
I know we could, 2 hours is not even enough to have a chat with you.
Got removed, so I was battling with that.
Yes, that's understandable. Apologies for that too. Well, you say that at the appeal court level, there's a tendency towards judicial rascality. So, against precedents that's already been set by the Supreme Court over and over again, what should happen to such judges?
Yes.
Should they be sanctioned? What is the role of the NJC in this matter?
I think the NJC should look at it. The NJC should look at it. And it's a very critical issue because some of the things that give the judiciary a bad name, and I told the Supreme Court today when I stood up, I've defended the judiciary for 43 years. Since I became a lawyer. And I'm very proud to have always defended the judiciary, including the Supreme Court. Because like Alexander Hamilton once put it in his Federalist paper number 78, out of the 85 Federalist papers, the Federalists, John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, Madison, Washington, he says the judiciary is the weakest and of the 3 arms of government because it has neither purse nor sword to even defend its judgments. So I've always defended the judiciary as the bastion of democracy and the defender of the common man. I saw that play out today at the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court did today in their judgments, particularly in the Lagos case, the Plateau case, the Kano case, the Cross River State case, even the Bauchi case, is to say that all the judgments were pro-people. They were in defense of the sanctity of the electoral mandate of the people, that the votes of the people should not only be counted, but should be allowed to count. That is why you have been seeing jubilation all over Nigeria. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 29, verse 2, it said the people rejoice when the righteous are in power. That is why you are seeing jubilation across Nigeria instead of burning, arson. In the Cross River State, for example, which I handled, the Supreme Court, in the lead judgment delivered by Justice Ogunwumiju, God bless her, and supported by all the other 4 justices, with Justice Inyango Okoro presiding, she asked the right question. Professor Ono, are you saying that we should nullify the governorship election of Prince Senator Basi Otu, who defeated you by over 76,000 votes out of 266,000 votes? A man who won 15 out of the 18 local government areas based on this technicality. So today I saw a Supreme Court looking at justice, not just the law, but justice. What does justice of the case say? Okay. What do the people want? What is the policy? In the Lagos case, for example, give me a second.
All right then.
I saw the Supreme Court settling for the first time, finally, in the sense of all finality, as in the case of Adegoke Motors Limited versus Adesanya, that the Supreme Court is final, not because it is infallible, but it is infallible because it is final. Today they settled the question of citizenship by birth and dual nationality. If you become a citizen of Nigeria, going by sections 25 and 26 of the Constitution, can we say section 28, which is itself subject to section 25 and 26, can invalidate your citizenship just because you acquired the citizenship of another country and you took an oath of allegiance? In the case of the governorship of Lagos State, the Supreme Court, in a lead judgment read by Justice M.L. Gadba, Justice M.L. Gadba,
I just want to throw this in because
he analyzed those sections.
I know where, yes.
And said dual citizenship can never disqualify you from contesting for the governorship.
A lot of people watching now would like to hear your comment on this.
From you.
Okay, very well said. A lot of people watching would like to hear your comment on this. For the Plateau example, which we've seen, call it miscarriage of justice or call it a very bad justice delivered. As a lawyer and someone who's really fought for our judicial, our justice system, what do you think can be done to remedy the situation, if anything, but to talk about those who gave that judgment and even those that the judgment affected the wrong way?
Yeah, thank you. I know you asked this question before. I deliberately skirted around it because I did not want to attack you frontally. Now you have called me back to it. I will attempt an answer. One, we should look at the laws again. Whether House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and senatorial elections should actually stop at the Court of Appeal level. Do they not have justice? Should they not go to the Supreme Court? That is one. What happens to the justices who, in spite of laid down principles of law by the Supreme Court, that nomination, congresses, primaries, membership of political parties are all matters within the realm of a political party, and that no political party or a member of another political party can peep into, through the fence, into the affairs of another political party to ask what they are doing, except you are an aspirant under Section 84 of the Electoral Act and within the meaning of Section 285 of the Constitution. These principles have been laid down by the Supreme Court in a legion of cases, more than 50 in the last 6 months. Didn't the Court of Appeal see these judgments that they went against? What should be done to these justices? I, as a lawyer, 43 years at the bar, I've never written a single petition against a judge. And I'm not going to do that in my remaining days on earth. But I want to say that the NJC, National Judicial Council, should take cognizance of this very serious matter, that it brings the judiciary's name into disrepute and into unnecessary squabbles and disrespect by members of the public. I think the NJC should look at it. I am not going to say that, oh, the people concerned should go and write petitions. I don't believe in petitions. But I think the National Assembly, the legislature should tinker with that law now before more damage is done. Do you know, my brothers and sisters, that those representatives of the people in Plateau State, for example, have all been removed from office now, even though they were voted for by the people? What do you do? Where is the restitution? Integrum. It is a sad commentary on our electoral process. But today, the Supreme Court stood its ground and made very remarkable, ground-shaking and profound pronouncements that have helped to define our electoral jurisprudence. And now today, I told the Supreme Court today, I've defended you for 43 years. I am proud of myself and I'm not disappointed that I'll be defending you and the judiciary.
Right.
I think something has to be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very good place to leave it, Professor Mike Ozekome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. In other words, what you're saying is the Supreme Court has redeemed the judiciary of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us.
You say so. You say so. I believe so.
Right.
I believe so.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nụ gị bụ Igbo ma na-ege ntị ka unu sikwa wee wepụta obi unu wee na-ege ya bụ ife anyị na-etinyelu n'iru akwụkwọ. Anyị si na ya dịrị ncha niile na mma, na ife anyị chọrọ na anyị ga-eweta ya, ana Biafra ya adị, ana Igbo ya adị. Dịka o si dị, ịnụgo n'ihe Biafra lawyer bụ Chief Mike Ozekome kwuru ka si n'iru akwụkwọ ka ife nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife. Drop ya your comment on the comment below.